Did you know that according to the Guinness World Records, the longest soccer throw ever was 51.33 meters by Thomas Grodmark in 2010? That's more than half the length of an NFL football field. Hello everyone, my name is Sonya Dervishian and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Soccer Sonya. Today we will be learning about running throw-ins. I've been playing soccer for 14 years, since I was 4 years old, so I'm extremely familiar with the rules of the game and how to properly do a throw-in because I've done thousands in games and practices over my career. I've also worked as a soccer trainer teaching young players soccer skills such as how to properly throw in the ball, so my experience in the area qualifies me to teach you today. Today I will be going over how to do a throw-in, including some prerequisites that must be satisfied beforehand, the 7 steps to doing the throw-in, some things to be aware of when throwing the ball in, and finally several things you want to make sure to avoid. Throw-ins are an integral part of the game of soccer, so it's extremely important that you pay close attention to the steps so that you can perfect your throw-in. If you pay attention and follow the exact steps I outline in this video, you too will be able to do a soccer throw-in correctly. It is not a difficult process at all, and with enough practice, you too can master the art of the soccer throw-in. My goal for this video is for you all to be able to correctly perform a running soccer throw-in at your games or practices so that you don't get penalized for doing it incorrectly. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to step into the throw and release the ball, as well as the type of things you want to be sure to avoid. Some prerequisites you need before attempting a throw-in are proper soccer cleats, which have plastic studs, not metal ones, a soccer ball, and a soccer field. Some level of athletic ability is required to be able to play soccer and perform a throw-in. Before you do the throw-in, you have to make sure that you are throwing the ball to a teammate that is open and does not have a defender on her. When you find an open teammate, you are ready to follow the following steps for doing a throw-in. Step 1. Pick up the soccer ball with both hands firmly, with one hand on each side of the ball. Make sure your hands are firmly grasping the ball and that your thumbs are nearing the back of the ball. Step 2. Back up a few feet from the boundary line to give yourself room to run up to the line. Step 3. Start running towards the line, and when you get to the line, plant one foot down in front of you with the other foot lagging behind. As you near the line, you should begin lifting the ball to behind your head so that when you reach the line, the ball is already behind your head. Step 4. As you pull the ball behind your head, you should arch your back just a little. Step 5. When your back is slightly arched, the ball behind your head, and your feet planted firmly on the ground, bring the ball forward from behind your head. Step 6. As you bring the ball forward from behind your head so that the ball goes directly over your head, straighten out your arched back and drag your back foot's toe on the ground so that it comes to meet your front foot, which is planted in the ground. Step 7. As you bring the ball forward from behind your head, release the ball with the flick of your wrist right as the ball is passing over your head. Some things to be aware of are you are allowed a throw-in when the ball exits the field, and you must throw the ball in from the exact point where it went out of bounds, and the thrower must face the field of play when throwing the ball in. Now that you know the correct steps for doing a throw-in, here are some common mistakes you want to be sure to avoid. 1. Do not lift your back foot up from the ground when you do the throw-in. 2. Do not fake throwing in the ball to one direction, then switch directions, because this is not allowed. 3. Do not take too long to throw the ball. If you wait too long to do the throw-in by taking your time, then you will slow down the pace of the game and your team's momentum. Do not run slowly or walk when doing a throw-in. You should run as fast as you can to maximize the distance the ball goes. Or, if you're in a hurry to get the ball back in the game, you might not bring the ball back all the way behind your head. According to official FIFA procedures, it is a game infringement if you do not bring the ball all the way back behind your head. 5. Make sure you are behind the boundary line. 6. According to the National Intercollegiate Soccer Officials Association, you are not allowed to score directly off of a throw-in. 7. According to the NCAA soccer rules, after you throw the ball in, you aren't allowed to touch the ball again until another player has touched the ball. So to summarize, when doing a throw-in, you bring the ball back behind your head as you run to the boundary line, then release it when the ball is above your head while dragging your back toe forward. The most important things to remember are to keep both feet on the ground at the moment of release and to make sure you wind the ball all the way back behind your head. With enough practice and experience doing throw-ins, you too can become skilled enough to maybe attempt to break the 51-meter throw-in world record. But until then, keep perfecting your throw-ins with the right technique I showed in this video until you can't get it wrong.